to ARIIX success. Isn't that what we're all about? Success. Success with our health, success with our financial goals. Welcome, everybody. Come on in. We got a very special guest today. Whitney, are you there? Let's see.
Sorry, I was muted. Yes, I am. Sorry.
There we go. So Whitney, I want to bring you out so that everybody can, so I can spot, oh, there we go. Let me spotlight you. There she is. Okay, very good. Okay, welcome everybody. Remember, we've been interviewing the fortune or the power rankers, and you have here in front of you a power ranker. Let's see, I think you're number 12 this week or something like that, Whitney?
Yes, yes.
That means out of the thousands of people. Yeah, everybody give her a hand. This is just really fantastic. Yeah, out of the thousands of people in North America, Whitney and her team have risen to the number 12 spot. And that's a really special place. And I think you're aiming for number 1, aren't you, Whitney?
Absolutely.
So we have been picking the brains of our power rankers. We've had the number 1 power ranker is Dr. Pena from Mexico. We've had Tim Sales. We've had maybe 10 or 15 of them. You are number 12 on the list now, going a little higher. So just really quickly, how long have you been, what's your story? How long have you been involved in ARIIX? And
since July, the beginning of July, I guess is when we signed up. And my husband's a coach, a high school football coach, and we live in Texas. We live in Lucas, Texas, near Allen. We're having a great season. We're 9-0 right now. We have a really good chance at making a really good run in the playoffs, so that's fun. But signed up in ARIIX. I was in another company for a few years and was at the very top of that company and just knew it was time to make a change. There were some things going on that I just knew it was like ready to, and so we really vetted ARIIX for about 6 months. I mean, literally looked at every aspect of it, from the leadership, to the products, and it really dotted all of our I's and crossed all of our T's. And so we jumped on board in July and just kind of have been along for the ride since then.
So the I's and the T's, what were the things that you said that in order for me to switch from my current income, this is your previous company, to switch to a brand new company, which means you might lose your income in the previous company? And
yes, walked away from that. I resigned, so we walked away from that.
That company?
About 3 years.
3 years of your life that you invested in this one company. And so you said, in order for me to make this, to switch to this brand new company and to take this kind of risk, there have to be some I's and some T's that I've got to cross. And sure, there are hundreds of companies you could have chosen. So what tipped the scale towards ARIIX for you?
The biggest thing was culture and leadership. That was super, super important to me. That was probably my number 1 thing. And so, we met with Rick, we met with all of the, corporate guys, we met with our sponsors, I mean, multiple times. And so that was huge. The leadership was big. And just, I feel like the leadership team in ARIIX is just, it's incredible. But then, we came from a company with really, really clean, good products that we saw so many transformations. And so that was another thing, the products. I couldn't just sell something just to make money. I wanted to be able to say, look, these products work. They're safe, they're clean, they're effective. They don't have toxins in them, things like that. That was really important to me, not to be selling something that was just to sell it. It was something that really, really I knew worked and was very, very clean and effective. And so I looked at the products. They obviously above our standards. And so that was another big thing. So culture, leadership, products, compensation plan. When I saw the comp plan the first time, I wasn't really sold, honestly, until I saw that comp plan. And when I saw the comp plan drawn out, Aaron Decker drew it out for us. I was like, oh my word, this comp plan is incredible. The guy that sponsored me in my previous company, we exploded. I mean, at one point, our team was doing, 1.2 million in sales a month. And the guy that sponsored me really didn't make much. And so I loved that if he would have been in this company, because he brought me in, he would have made a significant income just from bringing me in. And that was I guess that was the negative about kind of a hybrid binary. It really, you only got paid on that one leg, your smaller leg. So if you went and helped all these people be successful, you still might not get paid off that leg, even though, you were the one bringing those people in. So I loved when I looked at this compensation plan, that it really rewarded everyone. So that was huge for me.
And so you had an infrastructure in the previous company. You probably had a training system, and so when you started brand new in ARIIX, how do you start a brand new person on your team? What's the system that you use to get them going?
So I feel like network marketing is really simple, but it can also be hard for some people. There's just so many, it's the simple things of inviting someone to take a look, showing them the plan, getting them started on products, and then plugging them into the system. I mean, it's that simple. So what we did, we have a business builder page, and we created units, because when you're in the beginning, I sponsored about 100 people in those first few weeks. And so you don't have hours and hours a day to walk someone through every little step it takes. So we created units, and in those units, it's okay, here's first. And our very first unit is over mindset, because I think that's the most important, because you are going to get no's, you are going to have rejection. And so you have to develop a strong mindset to know and look at this as a long-term plan, and not, a 30-day, because most people get in and they're gone within 90 days.
Yep.
That's this industry. And so you have to develop your mindset first. So that's the first thing we talk about. And then how to send a link, how to send a smart link. So it literally takes you through step by step by step how to do that. So that if someone signs up 80 levels deep on your team and their sponsor doesn't help them, they can still, as long as they're plugged into that page, they can still go through those units and know exactly what they need to do. And figure out how to be successful, because you don't need your upline to be successful in this business. You need yourself and your downline. And so, you have to create something that's simple, that's duplicatable. And then we have an ad tag message group, and it's just add people, invite people to take a look. I do a lot of attraction marketing. I don't reach out to people. Some people, that's kind of their thing, but I do attraction marketing. And if you go to my Facebook page, you're not going to see a lot of anything about ARIIX. You're not even going to see a lot about the business opportunity in general. It's maybe once every 2 weeks, because people go to social media to create relationships. And that's what social media is all about, is creating those relationships. So I want them to see my family. I want them to get to know me on my social media page. And then every once in a while, I'll throw in a post that creates curiosity. I always tell people, never go out there and post, hey, join my ARIIX team. You want to create curiosity. Posting results, posting, going on trips, things like that. Those things attract people to you. And so I use attraction marketing and bring people to me. I just sponsored someone yesterday, and I'm getting someone in tomorrow, and they both came to me. It's just by that social media presence and profile. And when they go to your social media, that's your website. What are you?
Pretend that all of us here are that person you sponsored yesterday. And so do you talk to them verbally before you enroll them?
Yes, I like to, if they message me and they say, hey, I want more information, when do you have 5 minutes to chat? I'm going to get them on the phone for 5 minutes. I'm going to pique their interest even more, kind of give them those little bits and pieces, the things that attracted me to this company, not a long conversation. And then I'm going to send them a video. You don't have to be an expert. Let the video, let the resources the talking. I'm going to add them to our ad tag message group. We have a group where people have results posted, and there's just a ton of social proof. And if you don't know what I mean by social proof, when people get in that group, they're looking, is it just Whitney having results on these products, or is it tons of people having these results? And when they see result after result after result, they're like, oh, well, everybody's having results. I want to know what that is. So I add them to that group. I tag them in posts, tag them in a few posts, and then I message them and follow up. But I do want to get them on the phone, send them a video, and then follow up. So it's just that simple: attract, talk to them for a few minutes, send them a resource, send them a short video, and then follow up with them and answer their questions. And a lot of people at that point, like yesterday, the guy that's signing up in My Business Tomorrow, we got him on the phone with Aaron Decker, and he's kind of a network marketer. And so I wanted him to hear from Aaron the compensation plan. And so that third-party credibility can be very important too. Those third-party Zooms or calls or whatever, those can be big for your business. And so you definitely want to utilize your upline.
Are you sending the people to the same Facebook group that Amy Summers is sending them to?
Yeah, we share that group. And she, she's kind of runs that group. That's kind of her baby. It was like that in the other company. So she does not let other people from other teams in, because she got a little burned in our other company where she was working for everybody's team because everybody would message her. And so that group is not open but anybody can create an ad tag message group. And what I would encourage you to do is get with your upline and see if there's one already generated, because you don't want 50 groups. You don't want little small groups of 100 people. You want big groups of 5,000 people, 10,000 people, 15,000 people. The more social proof you have and the more you can work together. So I know that there's other ad tag message groups out there. And so you just want to get with your upline and see, if they have one. I wouldn't go out and try to create your own. You want to collaborate and do it with other people.
All right. So you send them to the same group that Amy is part of. She was with us last week and just did a fantastic job of teaching us exactly how that system worked for her. I know in another company that I was involved in, they down in Australia, and they would have all the Chinese people would come together every week in a live group, and there were like 1,000 of them every single week. Talk about social proof. And everybody would come to the exact same meeting. It wasn't Facebook group like we do now, but this was 10 years ago. But the social proof was all the people giving their testimonials from everybody else's groups. So everybody just take that lesson from Whitney today. The social proof. It's not just you out there trying to bring people in. You have to have some kind of a way to create some buzz. Okay, so this person who went through these steps and the three-way call with Aaron Decker, that's nice to have somebody you can do a three-way call with. They said, okay, I'm in. Now, what I want to ask you again is, do you have a step-by-step process that you teach this person that you signed up yesterday so they can learn the system? Or is it just, you say, just do what you did with that? How we sign you up? What's your training system for them?
We'll typically do what you did with them. And remember, if you sign up 10 people in this business, 3 are going to sit and do nothing. 3 are going to dip their toe in and do a little bit, and 3 are going to go to work. And that's just the statistics of this industry. And so you have to kind of know who you're going to really put your 100% effort in. You don't want to put effort into constantly trying to pull that person who's just not willing to do anything along. I always ask them, what are your goals? And depending on their goals, that's where I go. So their goal may to be just get in and get product and get healthy. And that's okay. And support them, encourage them on that. Their goal may be to make $10,000 a month. If they want to do that, you're going to have to, go out there and take some action and get things done. That's the person you're going to run with. And the person that maybe just wants to do a little bit here and there, you want to find out their goals. So in my other company, I had a sheet, and that's the first thing I would do is 10 questions that ask, what are your goals? What's your biggest fear? You're kind of finding out what they want from this business. But then, when I signed someone up Sunday, I went into the business builders page. I tagged them in that first unit, and I said, go through these units. Now, it's not important because there's like 20 units. You don't have to know everything, but at least go through, learn how to send a link, learn how to do those things. And then when she comes to me and she says, okay, how do I send a link to someone? All I have to do is I have to just go to that group and tag her in that post and let her know, hey, this is the step-by-step. It has a picture and everything. Those are so easy to create if you don't, have that. Super simple. I mean, very, very simple to create.
So these modules have been already designed and created, kind of like training modules in a sense, right? And
yes.
so you just say, go to module number 1 and read it, right? So do you ever take them through yourself? Do you ever
go, unless there's someone that's like this person I'm signing up tomorrow, I think they're going to run. They may not take the time to go through those modules. They may go, okay, let's go get 10 people to talk to. So it really depends on them. But if they're not ready to go, then go through these units, at least familiarize yourself with them, and then get back with me and let's make a plan of action. And let's, figure out what you want to do.
Now, what's your week look like?
So I'm running myself ragged. I own a boutique, and it happened. What was crazy is when I started my other company, I kind of let it go. I hired someone else to run it. And my sales went from, I was doing 40 to 50K a month in sales to 6,000 in sales. And so last summer, actually not last summer, but the previous summer, I decided I was taking that back over. I let the lady running it go. I was paying her half of what I was making. I was making no profit because I was paying her half of what the sales were. Right. And so I let her go. I started really investing my effort back into that slowly. And this September, it just absolutely exploded. Like, could barely keep up. So I hired someone again. So I run a boutique full time, and that's my full-time income. And honestly, I didn't expect that to happen when I started this. So I have had to learn, and I will be completely honest, I'm not the best at it to time block. Because it can take my full time. I mean, it's 24/7. I have a to-do list right here just for that boutique today, and it's this list. So it can take a lot of time. So you have to, I always tell people, this is a business you can 5 to 10 hours a week. It doesn't take 100 hours a week to run this business, especially as you develop leaders upon leaders upon leaders. This is a business you can do in a few hours a week, but you have to be consistent and you have to time block. And I haven't always been really good at that. I kind of fly by the seat of my pants. I tend to run. And then, so I really am working on that. That's something I'm having on.
Have a regular scheduled for your ARIIX business? Do you have a scheduled times every week where you say, I'm here? Like, for instance, Amy told us last week that she said 8 o'clock in the morning and 8 o'clock at night, I'm going to make a post to my Facebook group. She just does it every single day. What does your days look like? So
mine's not that regimented. I'm available anytime my team needs me. If they say, can you jump on a Zoom? Can you jump on a call? I'm pretty much available because I'm home and I'm working, from my office at home. So I am very, very accessible. But I kind of, like I said, I kind of fly by the seat of my pants. And I know that's probably not the best thing to tell y'all, but it's just what I do. So it's my weakness, and I need to work on it. And I tell people all the time, time block. 30 minutes a day, an hour a day. In 30 minutes a day, you can reach out to 30 people. If it literally doesn't take much time to reach out or to make a post or whatever. Now, if you get a post and you get tons of people asking questions, that does take time to add them to the group, tag them in posts, follow up with them. That's where it can take more time. But that's something I'm definitely working on.
So when you got started, you said it was July, right? You enrolled 100 people in 2 weeks.
Yeah. And
over 100, actually well over 100 personally.
So everybody who's watching, that's probably just jaw dropping, like, wow, how the heck did you do that? Those must have been 24-hour, 7 days. You just have to block everything out and just say, sweetheart, you take care of things. I'm going to sign people up today.
Pretty much. Yeah. And I always, especially in this type of plan where, you're adding people under people, speed, especially when you get in, like when you first get started, I'm a huge believer in speed, create momentum. That's how you create, momentum is sponsoring people, and getting them added in and getting them duplicated. And that also creates a little bit of fear of loss for other people that are watching. They're going to look and go, oh my gosh, she's sponsoring 10 people today. I better get in. And that's what was happening. I was like, look, I may sponsor 5 people today. You need to get in and before, so they can go under you. And, that always, speed is so important, especially when you first start. And it's not necessary for everyone. Some people take it slower. I've just always been one to create that momentum, try to create that momentum, which creates more momentum, and then, kind of gets your team going. And for me, I had to replace my paycheck somewhat. Like, my boutique wasn't, at that point when I signed up, I was kind of still working on getting it going. This was our income, and I walked away. I mean, I literally resigned and walked away from a weekly paycheck that was really, really good. And so it was kind of like, you have to, and, I didn't really have a choice. I had to, my husband's a coach. So,
what were some things that you discovered about ARIIX as you got in and you started really doing it? Before you got in, you had hopes of what might happen. What's the most surprising thing you discovered as you came into ARIIX?
It's so funny because when you're looking at a company, they don't tell you any of the negative things, right? And then sometimes you get in and you peek behind the curtains and you're like, oh, I didn't sign up for this, And so that's always nerve-wracking, because you don't really know until you get into the weeds and all that stuff. Because especially when you're in momentum, there are going to be some weeds. There's always little things that come up that we don't ever talk about, because we try to focus on the positive, right? But there's always those little things. But I will tell you, I've been so impressed. There hasn't been any of the culture things. Like, I felt like was one of the reasons I left my other company. It was very, very kind of almost controlling. Like, you can only talk to your downline. You can only do this. You can only do that. I have never had Aaron or Ginger or Amy or anybody tell me, oh, you can only do it this way. You can only do it that way. I mean, there was a system in my other company, and it was like, if you didn't do it that way, you were like banned from, whatever. And that has been such a breath of fresh air to be in a company that doesn't have their finger on you. They kind of just let you go and fly and do your thing. And so I've just been very pleasantly surprised with everything I've seen. From customer service, the customer service is excellent. It's been incredible.
So when you enrolled those 100 people plus, what was your, you had to reach out to hundreds and hundreds of people. How did you reach out to them? Was it through text? Was it through email? Was it through Facebook? How did you reach out to try to bring in the top people that you wanted to enroll?
So obviously, when I left my previous company, there was, a stipulation there. When you leave, you can't reach out to anybody unless people personally sponsored. So I was very, very cautious of that, conscious of that, because integrity is huge. And so I only personally reached out to a few people that I personally sponsored. And I sponsored about 300 in that company. So there were a lot I could have reached out to. A lot of them weren't working anymore, but I did reach out to those leaders that I brought in. And some came, some didn't. I didn't reach out to a lot of other people because a lot of my people on my Facebook page or that I knew were in other people's businesses. So I let people come to me, and I used attraction marketing, which was like what I was talking about, just creating curiosity, creating, that they're looking at your Facebook page. I want to be a part of this. Just intriguing, things like that. So I was not really reaching out to a lot of people, but I will say this, like, that's not always the case for people. I have built a brand for the last about 6 years. And so I had a kind of a more of a following. Typically when you're new and you don't have that following, you haven't built your social media, you do have to reach out. And so I do teach my team, create curiosity on social media. You do attraction marketing, but you will have to reach out to people if you kind of don't have that brand already. But personally, most of the people were coming to me.
So attraction marketing means creating curiosity. Give us an idea. Give us an example of 2 or 3 little posts that you would put on your Facebook page to create curiosity.
So one of the things was we were having people hit ranks after ranks after ranks, 30, 50 ranks a week. And so I would post those ranks, like, look at all the success we're having. When people see that, they want to be a part of that. They want to be a part of someone that's having success. They want to be a part of that momentum. They want to be a part of a culture that's authentic and real and exciting. And so that's just one, it's so simple, but it's one example. You know, I lost 10 pounds immediately when I got started on skinny drops, like literally had 10 pounds I could not get off at my other company. And just as soon as I got on that product, and maybe it was because I was running like crazy and I didn't have time to eat, but you know, it was those 24-hour days, but I lost 10 pounds. And so, you know, before and after, even just a before and after the scale, I mean, results speak volumes, because like I said, you may have someone come to you and they don't want anything to do with the business. So you need to speak to all people. You need to speak to business builders and people that want to join your team as a business builder, or people that just want to get on products. You need both. And in my previous company, I didn't ever focus on customers. I focused on only getting business builders. And it was a mistake that I learned that I made. And so when I came here, I definitely wanted to have, you know, equal customers and business builders.
So what was your favorite story that you would post besides yourself? You had your own story. What seemed to be a story that you posted on your Facebook page that seemed to generate the greatest amount of results or attraction? Can you think of somebody that you posted?
We have a couple on our team, Tim and Dana Miller, and like, if you see them, they just look incredible. And it started in our old company with the detox program, and it continued. But I will tell you, even Amy, just her muscle tone. I mean, there's something about these products that really just strips that fat off, and just, I mean, but you know, if you look at Dana's arms, I mean, she just looks incredible. And I don't know, I think, you know, at her age to be able to do that is, because it gets harder as you get older. And so, you know, their story is just really, really neat.
So you'd share that on your Facebook page and say,
Absolutely.
here's my friends. And then people would respond back. How did you get them from that, from them responding on the Facebook, for them to actually go deeper into your system? You just you have a direct connection with somebody. You send them an email, you send them
get in their Facebook inbox or Instagram inbox, invite them to that group, that ad tag message group, tag them. So if they're looking for weight loss, you know, I'm going to tag them in several weight loss posts. And then I'm going to follow up. And then of course, if they were a business builder, we're looking for extra money, find their need, find out, are they looking for extra money? Are they looking for a health transformation? What is their need? Don't assume you know what it is. What is their need? And they will tell you if you ask those questions. You know, I always say form them, find out about their family, their occupation, what they like to do for fun, and what is their message. And message stands for strengths, interests, goals, and needs. We all have them. You know, everybody has needs in one shape or another. And so I typically find out, what are you looking for? And then, you know, let them see that social proof and then follow up with them. If they were a business builder, I would get them we were having nightly Zooms when we first got started, and I would invite them to one of those Zooms. And I always tell people, if they're serious, they're going to get on. Now I do recommend sending out reminders 5 minutes and 10 minutes before, because people get busy and they forget. But you know, invite them to I think all leaders are doing Zooms. So invite them to a Zoom. I like them to see something live instead of sending a video sometimes, because if you send a video, they might not watch it, or they might get busy, or, you know, they get distracted. Whereas if you can get them on a Zoom, oh, yay, look at them.
Okay, there you go. Thank
oh
you.
My gosh, look at this. It's amazing.
So do you check into these Zooms now? Do you have time yourself to participate in those Zooms on a nightly basis?
Yes, we have a Zoom every Monday night at 8, and we kind of coordinate with who's doing what. And so we rotate leaders that are doing that. So usually every other week I do it. And if I'm not doing it, I kind of hop on and comment and things like that.
So I think Amy told us she has like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday that she's participating in some kind of a Zoom.
Yes.
Yours is less intense than that, I guess, right?
Amy's really, really involved in that group, in that transformation group. I mean, that's her, like I said, that is her baby. And she loves it. And yeah, we all participate, but she kind of runs it, plans it, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Is there anything special that you do for your team? You know, she's got her thing where the Facebook group is there anything that you do special besides that, besides what she does?
Not that I can think of. I mean, if somebody wants a Zoom or you know, wants to share the opportunity with someone, I'll hop on an individual Zoom with them. But yeah.
So you're just running as fast as you can run. You got your business that you're running. You're managing from the side. What's for a brand new person? I'd love you to share with a brand new person. What would you tell them to do to really to get where you're at?
Invest in yourself first and foremost. I recommend getting up 30 minutes early and spending at least 10 minutes in what I typically do. I just think mindset's so important. 10 minutes, I listen to my life script. And my life script is, every sentence starts with, I'm so thankful and grateful now that. And I use an app called Think Up. And so I recorded those life scripts, and they're constantly changing because I will hit a goal. Like I had a huge goal for my boutique, and I hit it last month, and I hit it again this month. So that goal's changing. I'm going to record that script. And so I do 10 minutes of my life script. I do 10 minutes of personal development. And then I meditate for 10 minutes because like I said, my days get crazy. My kids, my husband's, he's never home. He works about 100 hours a week. And my kids are involved in so many things. So like from 5 o'clock on today, we'll be running around doing some kind of sporting event or whatever. And so I try to meditate and really quiet my mind and just kind of start. I feel like it's so important to start your day off really well. And I learned it from a book by Terry Saville Foy. I think it's called 5 Things Successful People Do Before 8 a.m. I think that's what it's called. But you can get it on Amazon, and she just really recommends 30 minutes. I would love to do an hour. It's hard for me sometimes to even sit and meditate 10 minutes because you start thinking about everything, that you need to do. That's the first thing. I get up and I'm like, email, Facebook, like there's just, we are so bombarded in our day and age with this right here, and so I really, really, really try to, I'm not perfect at it, but I try to spend that first 30 minutes investing in myself, because if you don't have a strong mindset, it's going to be challenging to be successful. So the first thing you need to do is work on yourself first and foremost and develop that strong mindset. And I've just kind of become bulletproof. And I learned that in my other company because like I said, there were lots of little weeds that, that we had to go through, and I'd never had to go through that before. And so, but when you work on yourself first, those little weeds don't bother you anymore, and you can get through them a lot, easier than if you're, not working on yourself. So I just am a huge believer in first and foremost, working on yourself, and then everything else will take care of yourself. I truly believe in what you put out, you attract. And so, raising that vibration, being in a high vibration, no matter what is going on in your life, we can only choose. The only thing we have control over is us and our attitude. And so I really just focus on, controlling that and staying, in a high vibration. And I feel like, that's part of that attraction marketing. People will come to you because they will want to be a part of, that culture, being excited and being happy and cheering on others. And, especially in this industry, we can look at others and we can get really jealous and go, well, they're having success, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I will tell you, the more you cheer for others, the more you look at others and go, you know what? I'm so happy for them. I'm truly happy for them. And know that, especially in my other company, we hit the top rank in the company in 6 months, and there was only one other person there. And I think people would look and go, oh, she's so lucky. And they didn't know the things that we had to go through to get there. They didn't know we lived paycheck to paycheck for 15 years. And so when you look at someone else's journey, don't get jealous, be excited for them, because that's going to bring more to you. It really, truly is. I've seen that in the past just year, because it's really been 1 year that about 1 year I've been working on myself. In last December, I hired a business coach, and that's kind of when that transformation started. He really, really got me into personal development and really working on myself. And so I think when you work on yourself first and foremost, you're going to change, and you're going to attract people that are like you. Whereas if you're in a low, negative mindset, you're going to attract more of that to your life. And so it's so important to personal development is so important.
We have dozens of people on the call here with today, and your message is so inspiring. if any of you have a question you'd like to ask Whitney, or put it in, you can either put it in the chat or you could come out live and ask her yourself. Let's open it up for anybody who'd like to ask you a question. Thank you, by the way, Whitney. I know you're so busy. For you
It's
to
fine.
give this time to us is such a gift. Thank you so much. Thank
You're
you. Any comments, questions, thoughts from anybody out there who would like to ask her? Okay, raise your hand if you have a question, says Rick. Yeah.
Oh, so the virtual hand or the real hand?
Well, you're on, Jane. Go ahead.
Okay, so Whitney, I'm very, very drawn to everything you're saying, and I want to be in your group. So the second best thing would be, is there any chance that we can get copies of the modules that you use, so that we can steal them from you?
No, I don't mind sharing it all. I can try to screenshot if you shoot me a Facebook message, because they're really easy to read. Like, I didn't spend a lot of time. Like, I literally might have written down the steps on they're not anything special. Like when Aaron and Dr. Ginger are like, hey, this is the steps to send a smart link. Because when you're new, it's just like, there's so much to learn. I would literally write it down, take a screenshot, and put that in one of the units. Like, it's not anything special. So just think
Right.
about if you want to create that. If you're a new person, what are the first 5 things you need to know? And think about, as a new person, what do I need to know? And you can create those units that easy. You can write it on paper and screenshot it and put it there, or you can type it out. You know, it doesn't have to be a lot of it. Like, I did a unit on social media, and that's just things I've taken from a person here, a person there, you know. So, but I'm happy to share. I'm happy to kind of screenshot and send them to you. I wish there was a way to kind of share them. And then you want to get with your upline too and see how do they want to get people started. And so I'm always very cognizant of that, because everybody does it different. And your team, you know, you create momentum by kind of doing the same steps. And so, you know, get with your upline, and if they don't have something like that, that might be something they can put together really quickly just to help. I know, you know, Aaron was talking about there is something possibly coming out that's a mini chat, which, if you don't know what mini chat is, I use it in my boutique. When someone comments in my boutique and ask a question, it sends them an automated response. So the mini chat, there's a possibility where it's going to say, okay, I'm new, I'm getting started. It responds, okay, here's your first step. And then, okay, thank you, done. And then here's your next step. So I think there's something, I think that might be something that they're working on too, which is really cool.
That would be. Thank you very much. Or maybe even you could send them to Rick. Hi, Rick. I'm giving you a
Hi,
job.
Jane. Yeah, no, I was going to suggest the same thing, Jane. So I'm ahead of you. Whitney, if you want to send it to me by email, then whoever wants it, they can email me and I'll just forward it to them.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jane.
Any other questions for Whitney? Anybody here? Comments, thoughts, questions?
I have one question, Robert.
Yes. Shoot.
Hey, Susan.
Hey, how you doing, Rick? We
Good.
love you.
Oh, we love you too.
My question is, in the group that Amy is running, the things that they're reading that are testimonials from are they listing the product name in that group, or are they still keeping that without the names of the products to keep them from going to Google yet? I'm just curious.
That's a good question. I like how you said going to Google, because that's what's going to happen if you tell them, hey, I'm at ARIIX. That's what they do. They go to Google, and then they
Absolutely. I did that.
Yes. Yeah, they're not going to come to you and ask questions. They're going to go to Google. And that's why I don't recommend putting anything on your Facebook that has the name. Once they're in that group, yes, there is, you know, some more vague posts, but there are, you know, there's a video. Dr. Ginger did a video on the 5, you know, main products, or I can't remember.
Oh, I love that one on the transform packs.
Yes.
Love
So
that video.
Videos in there. I know we have the video of what makes these products so special. Just little things like that you literally can go and find anywhere. But you just want your people to be able to add people to that group and just tag them or, you know, comment, add their name to that post in the comments and see that really quickly.
Okay.
But yes, they are going to see ARIIX when they get in the group.
Okay. That's what I was wondering. Thank you. Appreciate it, Whitney. You've done great.
So that was really a brilliant question, because if you post the names of our products, people Google it, and then you're out of the picture.
Or go to Amazon. I don't know if you looked on Amazon, but you know, I know they sneak by on Amazon sometimes. And so it's easy. Go on Amazon, click buy, and they're not going to ask you. They're going to, sometimes we'll buy on Amazon. I'm sure we do what we can to keep those products off there, but man, those
For
Amazon.
some
sellers,
who are just getting started, they are having trouble learning the marketing mindset. The marketing mindset is the creating of the curiosity. It's getting them to go to the next step. And most people, since if they don't have a marketing mindset, they're into the just telling it all. You know, this is what I'm doing. This is exactly how I'm doing it, and they're not creating curiosity. And some people don't like that marketing mindset because they don't want to feel as if they're dating somebody, you know, the dating game where you kind of have to play some games, frankly. And they want to be more authentic and more, you know, what shall we say, transparent. But marketing is about getting a person to take a step towards you. And therefore, what Whitney has been demonstrating for you is the power of that. You have to get them to take steps towards you with and playing a little bit of a game. And I know it doesn't sound truthful, but it's just what you have to do as you're in a marketer. You get people to respond to you, and the people who raise their hands, as I say in marketing, about 1% are going to raise their hands and 99% are not. And those people who raise their hands, it's taking a step towards you. And as they take a baby step, if you learn about influence by Dr. Cialdini's book called Influence, one of the steps is called, you know, consistency. Let's see. I call it baby steps. You got to get them to take a baby step. Is if they'll take a baby step, they'll go all the way. If they won't take a baby step, then they probably are not ready for you at this point. So, Amy, you're a baby stepper, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah. I thought of something and I forgot what I was going to say about that. A point to make.
Well, you're a marketer and you've got a business and you're busy and running like crazy. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us today, Whitney. You're so inspiring to us. And
Thank you. Thank you.
so everybody make sure that you give a big clap to number 12 on the Power Ranker list. Now you know why she's number 12. She's working night and day and she's making it happen. So Whitney, you're amazing. We love you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I appreciate y'all and all your support.
All right, everybody. Come out, let them come out, Rick, and say love, give love to Whitney for her willing to share with us a special time.
I will. Let me stop the recording and I'll unmute the lines. It's all good.